This is neither the time nor the place.
What troubles you bring now? Going?
I'll need to be lighter on my feet to use this.
What troubles you bring now? Return if you must.
So an enemy of hope has fallen.
burden. Beast of burden.
Make it fast. Exiles.
The King of Rats, Crater.
You are thus blessed, daughter of God. He will show you what true friendship is.
killed Mother Eight-Leg?
Hello.
Hello? There we go. That's probably a lot better. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm assuming it's working now. So that's good. What have you been up to, Juka? Grab Spartans. Sweet. Strength also increase the physical projectile damage. That's not what I need. So tomorrow night I'm off, and then off Saturday and Sunday. I was gonna say, I didn't think I saw you logging in or anything. I feel your pain on the crunch time thing. Okay, so there's nothing in there that I need. Oh, we'll take that though. I'm gonna make some jewelry, at least the neck piece. I've been good, man. Been trying to keep up with my farm. I got the stuff to start a dire wolf, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm gonna probably do a video on raising dire wolves, just because, just in case somebody might not know how to do it. I mean, it's pretty basic, but I'm sure there'll be somebody out there that it'll help. Okay. Took a little bit of a break from Albion to play a few other games. I think I'm going to stick with Albion and PoE for a while. I don't know if I can fully, right now I'm just not interested in fully investing 100% of my time into Albion for a little bit. I mean, that'll change, but right this second anyways. Okay, yeah, let's splash. Oh, I don't have melee splash on that. Yep. Yeah, I was pretty excited. Pretty excited. Alright, so there we go. If I turn this in now,
There's answers.
There we go. Excellent. Alright, so let's. Juke, have you ever played this game? It's pretty solid, if you ask me. Oh, crap. Well, I'm only wearing, yeah, so this will be fine. Fire resistance is... Strike, I don't care about critical strike. I don't care about evasion. Come on, give me something good. I'll take an elect. Actually, you know what? I don't want an elect. I want something better than that. That'll work. Alright, that piece in. You play me. Let me know if you want to do some Hellgates over the weekend or next week. I have a lot more time during the day and evenings. Absolutely, yeah. I plan on doing quite a bit. I think Saturday morning or Sunday morning, Jen and I are doing stuff. We have that dueling tournament Saturday night. So if you're available for that, come on out. And this game is pretty cool. So basically, you start out, there's a bunch of different classes, and you got starting areas for each class. But no matter what class you are, you can spread out across the whole entire board. I think you end up with like 130 points. And so right now I'm building this guy who hits somebody, and when he hits somebody, these globs of molten lava fall off him. So I need elemental damage. So I'm starting out with mana regen and life, just to get my health up. And I took like elemental damage nodes, and then I took some more life nodes, more elemental damage nodes. So I'm working my way over to here, and this gives me more fire damage. I'm gonna get this one, which gives me a big boost, and then get this one, which gives me another big boost, and then I'm gonna work my way down into this tree. And essentially what you can do is, the nice thing is, you don't have to get overwhelmed by this. There's so many build guides and stuff like that out there. It's crazy. Now it's kind of like Albion Online, but just a little bit more in depth. So like, here's my main ability, Molten Strike, which I have, where is it? Right here. So Molten Strike is this gem that I got, and these drop off monsters. You buy them from the vendors, stuff like that. There's no gold or anything. It's all currency that you trade. And so this is all the gold and currency. So like, and all these things change your gear, or refresh your gear, or increase the power of your gear. And that's usually what you trade, is that you trade gear between you and other players. So here's the main spell I'm using. Now with that spell, I've got it tied to elemental proliferation, which basically causes those molten balls to set people on fire. So that's the ignite part. 20% chance to freeze, shock, or ignite, and since it's fire damage that I'm dealing, it'll give me a 20% chance to ignite. And then down here, just more fire damage. So it's pretty cool. And then so your chest piece can have up to 6 links. So you can take one main ability and link 5 things that will change that ability. So you can play it as simple or as in depth as you want. The world map, so it's kind of linear. So you start out in Act 1, kind of work your way through, which I got a quest to turn in. Then you go to Act 2, kind of work your way through. And then they just released like, I think 6 acts. So it's pretty crazy. And about the time you hit, I think 50 or 60, you start getting map drops. And those map drops, you can change as well. So they have what's called rolling. So you can take one of the pieces of currency and you can modify the map. And when you modify the map, you might make it so it gives you increased rare drops or increased loot. Or it could be like when you get more rare drops, maybe it gives a element, creates an elemental damage part to the game, so that you get extra lightning damage from the mobs you're attacking. So for every bit of bonus you get when you're in a map, you get negative things to go with it. So it's kind of risk versus reward. No PvP, just straight PvE basically. Well, I take that back. I think they have zones you can PvP in, but it's more just like, I don't know, a Zerg fest. Well, not even a Zerg fest, because you can't get that many people in there, but it's not really supported 100%. I'm throwing those little balls of lava out, or catching people on fire. So that's pretty cool. What's up, Tyne Van's Bow? I suck. Well, that's unfortunate. Hey, Austin, it's 8 o'clock, bud. Austin. Austin! It's time for bed, buddy. Or time to get off the computer.
Oh, never mind. Perfect timing. Do you like peanuts?
I mean, I'll eat them.
The lair of a toy maker with pretensions of
Do you want
lordhood.
some of the peanuts?
No.
Okay.
They're all
They're
very-
360?
They had Oreo.
It's a really cool game. It's like real gritty. Did you ever play Diablo 2? It's probably a better sequel, or a better Diablo 3 than Diablo 3, essentially, is what a lot of people call it.
They didn't give us straws, so I'll go get you.
Yeah, I have straws. Get a big one. Oh no, wait, I got a straw right here.
No, I got up. Wait.
Why'd you get me the small one?
Because you have diabetes. You're lucky I got you one at all. I should have just sat here and eaten mine in front of you.
That's really nice.
We are.
Play the first Diablo. Yeah, so it's kind of like gritty like that. It's a loot grinder. So you go out and get loot and stuff. What?
Someone wrote suck and it got deleted.
Where'd it get deleted?
Over here it says message deleted.
Huh, that's funny. I didn't realize stuff like that gets deleted.
Nightbot is.
Nightbot's ruthless.
I was like, oh shit, let's see what
This
this
land,
person
I have a s- to help you out, I'm going to share.
I have a feeling the strawberry shortcake's about to let me down.
Huh?
The strawberry shortcake's probably about to let me down.
Hold on, you want a big box or a little box?
This is actually, they just came out with the expansion for this game, and it's been getting a ton of people playing. Just on Steam alone, the amount of people playing is huge, and it's got its own client as well. What is hitting me? Not cool. There we go. Just tell me to go this way. Oh, you mean like quests and stuff? Or just like your character saying stuff?
Must give way to the day.
I don't know if they have a Mac port actually. That's a very good question. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. It's one of the few 100% free to play games that doesn't have a lot of BS in it. Like the only thing you can buy is stash tabs and cosmetics. You cannot buy anything else in this game, which has kept this game pretty pure. I mean, you got not gold sellers because they don't have gold in the game, but you got people that sell gear and stuff like that. But It's definitely not that bad. The beginning quest for the donkey. Yeah, I understand that. It would be nice. I think for the size that Sandbox Interactive is, and the amount of stuff that they did, is pretty freaking awesome. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that, I mean, it's like anything. You wish they did things differently in certain areas, but I mean, it's not the end of the world either. So, with everything so rampant on free-to-play stuff, it's just kind of a cluster, really, to get any, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's just kind of a mess the way free-to-play runs right now. And it's really not even free-to-play, it's buy-to-play. Alright, so the X. Okay, I got 132 DPS, 167, I'll take that. Shell. So yeah, so you can combine them all, change up the skills. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. You sell stuff to the vendor. The vendor gives you crafting gear. Store the crafting gear, and then go back out. Overall, Sandbox Interactive have a really solid platform to build upon. I see a lot of potential for Albion. It's just a little messy, like you said. Yeah. I think the first thing they need to really figure out is how to track gold sellers. That's always going to be a touchy subject. Even if it's pausing the ability to buy plots in town until they figure it out, I think that'd be a good way to go, a good way to start at least. Pausing them and maybe like locking down the amount of profits people can make so it doesn't get out of hand until they figure out how to make sure these gold sellers aren't buying the plots, and not only are they selling gold to players and beating out Sandbox's prices, but they're also making it so guilds and people in the game can't afford to take the plots away from them, because I mean that's not and when you're competing against somebody not even playing the game, that's just trying to basically extort the game for real life gains. I mean, if they go that route, they might as well just give all the players in the game the opportunity to turn around and sell their gold to other players, and then take a percentage of that. And that might, I don't know, maybe that's the way to go to get rid of gold sellers. Make it so I can make my silver, and if I don't want to invest it back into what I'm doing in the game, I can turn around and sell it as well, so that it just makes sense for me to sell it to other players for the real life money, and then Sandbox Interactive take 5% of it or 2% of it or something. I just don't know how to fix it, you know? Yeah, that's a really big hurdle for them to overcome when they can get on the top. Be a lot of better experience for all players. Absolutely, man. They just got to figure out how to overcome it, really. And I'm sure they will. The key thing is them getting it done before they lose the player base. I mean, I think they were smart by keeping the server small, because I think in the end, the size of the servers will be about right. So if you start like YouTubing this game, you'll see like some people do some crazy builds. Like there's builds where all they do is they jump on people. They just use the sleep slam ability and they just jump around, and they get it so the animation's so quick It's like spamming any kind of ability. It's pretty cool. So like you can increase attack speed, you can do like cover the whole entire screen with skeletons, zombies, specters. It's crazy. This game is unlimited. Yeah, absolutely. They got to think of something, and I'm sure they will. The problem is they've only got so many resources, which is unfortunate. But they've gotten this far. And I mean, I think it was the right time to release the game. I don't know. Like, I don't think they could have waited any longer without losing the relevance that they already have. Man, this guy needs to die. So, in each, like, so they have leagues, and each league starts out for like a 2-month, 3-month league, or they sometimes have race leagues which last for like 2 hours, like to see who can get the farthest in experience, stuff like that. And this league right here has these like dudes that are blue, and you got to kill all the minions that he keeps spawning in order to kill him, and then he drops extra loot. It's kind of cool. Helmet pack, pretty cool. I like the chain stuff for gear also. Yeah, it's a real gritty look. And this game is really cool. So, and they've got like uniques and legendaries, which I don't have any on me. But it can be as deep or as shallow as you want it to be. Usually the rule of thumb is when you first start playing your first character, you end up scrapping because you make a mistake, and then you realize, oh my gosh, this is what I need to do, and you go and do it. It's pretty cool. Absolutely, Juka. I agree with you 100%, yeah. So the gold sellers aren't invested in the game. I agree. It's just, I don't know. How do you get them out of the game is the thing. I mean, Black Desert Online, what they did was they made it so you can't basically trade between players. So this thing spawns all these mobs. I can kill these mobs, and then I can open the chest. The chest has loots. A lot of stuff. Yeah. Town. What? So these things with the 5%, 15%, where it has, this one has 10% quality, this one has 5%, all that quality right there. When I save them up and I turn a bunch of them in at the same time, it just gives me more gear or more materials, and all the materials are used for creating new gear. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that ring, but we're gonna keep this one. Jagex, the English company that built RuneScape, ended up actually tracking IPs and banning users who traded or advertised gold sales. Absolutely, man. I mean, there's ways to do it. I just think, and it's gonna sound bad, I just think they didn't focus on that being a big issue. Either that, or they thought because you can, as a player, you can just buy gold, so maybe they thought they weren't gonna have to worry about it, which is ridiculous. That's not even, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, I want to keep the life gear on. Maybe I'll use it later, but not now. I don't want energy shield. So let's actually get rid of it.
What do you want? Return if you must.
So now I'm going to put there. I'm going to sell some of this percentage gear, this quality gear. I'll show you how it gives me back crafting mats. So come to this guy. These are called recipes. So as I get up to 40%, it gives me one of these armor scraps. So I have enough for a second. Do. Okay, so release that one. There we go. And later on in the game, those become pretty valuable.
Make it fast.
Box. No, you don't have to repair any gear in Path of Exile. You can play hardcore, where if you lose your character, you're out of that league and you end up going to the normal. Like you end up going to normal, so you don't lose your character, so to speak, but everything on that character goes to the normal league, so it's outside of the hardcore area. Okay.
What troubles you bring?
Again, I'm trying to add up to 40 to get my
Going.
pieces here.
Hello.
Then they have recipes to make a lot of different things in this game. Get rid of that, get rid of that. There we go.
Travel far.
Try to keep the skinny stuff so it doesn't get all jumbled in my bank. It is what it is, man. I mean, there's so much stuff going around from the guild, from Iron Bank. I don't know if you saw all the podcasts and the interviews and everything else that people have done. It is what it is, man. At this point, I'm just looking when I get back and do it on this weekend, just to have some fun. I mean, that's all I'm going to do is take it one day at a time, go in and do something. I'm not really going to play it thinking 100% long term anymore. I'm just going to try to get every bit of ounce of fun out of it I can, when I can. All right. Here, about as well. Okay. I'm already level 20. Yeah, my video is a little bit all over the place. I realized that afterwards. It was funny. So, like, people who knew what happened or had an idea were really like, "Oh man, you did a great job." And then people who didn't know what happened, because I really didn't go into detail, I was more trying to give my impression of what I thought could have avoided it, and how I feel it was more just a bunch of mistakes than anything else. Those people who didn't know what went on were just like, "You're a jerk. We don't even know why you made this video." So, it is what it is. Got a lot of good feedback from it, so stuff to remember for next time. This is a boss fight. This guy's got some cool abilities. Now, the cool thing about this game is, like, all the abilities that you can do the bosses can do as well. So the more you learn about all the different types of abilities, the more you'll be able to figure out what the bosses are doing. Oh, are you kidding me? Sweet. I take a time with that I play Albion just to enjoy the game. I couldn't care less about the politics. I'm happy playing for myself and having a good time with friends I make there. Yeah, I agree. The problem was, in my mind, because Albion's a social game, because it's a sandbox, because it's kind of a divide and conquer game, I wish it was more. I wish the politics of guild to guild and everything else was involved. The only problem is the gold seller part kind of crushes it. So if there was a way to remove that and keep everything else, it'd be like one of the perfect games. Then again, there's no game that's really that perfect, so. Yeah, so all the, yeah, exactly. All the, and then, so here, I'll show you in just a second. Some cool stuff. Enduring Cry. Charges, personal armor. Herald of Ice. Channel Ice to your hands, no. Herald of Ash. That's a buff. Fire damage based, yeah, that's what I want. So you have auras, like, so I just picked up a gem that's going to give me an aura to do more fire damage, which is perfect. And then, so like you could take just a regular fireball, and they have a thing that's called lesser multiple projectiles. So it'll take that one single fireball and shoot it out 3 times. And then they have another support gem. So you link all these together. Another one that's called Fork. So every time it hits something, it splits off into 2 other places. So it goes from 3 fireballs, and if you hit somebody with each fireball, it'll go to 6 fireballs, and if those fireballs hit somebody, it'll just keep multiplying. And then they have greater multiple projectiles, which I think is it shoots out 6 things. And then everything is balanced by how much mana it uses, and every time you get more and more AoE for something, it also decreases the effectiveness of it as well. So it's all pretty cool and really well thought out. They've been doing this game for just so long. They've just got it down pat. Alright, I don't think I'm going to want to use either one of these. I don't really want... my damage is scaling decently, so I really want... Oh, that's nice. I really want life is what I want. Yeah, basically you take a basic skill and you just kind of blow it up. So I've got like this ability right here. Where is it? So where is it? Okay. So I can summon skeletons. So I can sit there and spam this button and it keeps summoning more and more and more and more skeletons. I think up to 5. Yeah, up to 5. And yeah, so I can spam this. But they've also got this totem, a spell totem, support totem. So if I link this with the skeleton, all I have to do is drop this totem and it summons the skeletons for me. So I don't have to sit there spamming it. Because the skeletons don't last very long. Alright, so I got 180 DPS with the axe on. What do I go to with that? 152, what I get in that? Don't need the shield. Alright, so 180 damage. Let's see what I go to when I put the 2-hander on there. 120, way down. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Alright, so, and like as you get bigger and better weapons, like you'll go from being able to have, like, most bows can have up to 6 links all linked together. And again, you can just create these crazy builds. And then on top of that, like, so I just gotta use this. So here's my aura. So if I go to the this right here, so they've got these big nodes called keystones. This right here, all right, if I take this ability, I can never crit, but I never miss. So like right now, every once in a while I'll miss a hit, but this keeps me from missing any hits. Then you have this right here, blood magic, removes all mana, spend life instead of mana for skills. So if I wanted to do a high life pool with high life regen, I could use my life because it replenishes so quickly to fund my spells. So it's just huge. This right here can't evade enemy attacks, but I can't be stunned. So I'll always take damage, but I'm never going to get stuck in a big crushing ability that's going to destroy me. They've got ones for, let's see, 40% more elemental damage if you crit. If you've crit in the past 8 seconds, no crit strike multiplier. So in other words, I can't get more crit off of my gear, but if I haven't, I got a extra 40% damage every time I crit. So depending on how you build your character, you might build low crit, no crit, high health, you might build low health. And each ability that's out here has an interesting bonus, but also it might have an interesting drawback. Like Eldritch, no, that's not what I wanted to tell you. Okay, Chaos Inoculation. Your maximum life becomes 1, and you're immune to chaos damage. Chaos damage comes later on in the game, but there's basically, with chaos damage, it's hard to prevent it. Alright, and it's a dot, damage over time. So you can couple this where your health is at 1, and then what you have is you have your life, and then you have an energy shield over it. So the higher so what you would do is you'd stack energy shield, so you'd have this big, huge energy shield protecting your 1 health, and then you take this right, where is it? You take this, no, not that one, where is it? Where is it? There's an ability. Okay, right here. So 30% more spell damage when on low life. So if you've got 1 health, you're on low life all the time, so you get an extra 30% spell damage. So just stuff like that that you can put together. It's a really cool game. And the more I get back into it, the more it's just like, oh, why haven't I been playing this? So it's definitely worth a shot. Well, the passive, so the passive abilities are stuck to you, but weapon skills can be customized on top of that to stack with your combat tree choices. Yeah, so essentially you start out like, here we go. So you start out, if I start out over here, my first things that I can grab are either strength nodes or mana and life regen or elemental or intellect. And then you kind of work your way through the tree. You've only, when you get up to around level 100, you only end up with like 130 points to spend. And then you can start out at this spot. This person gets a little bit of everybody, but this class is farther away from everything. So you kind of got to pick which direction you want to go in. And then there's a class here, there's a class here, there's a class here, there's a class here, there's a class here. And technically I could go up to here, to here, to here, and then kind of travel all the way across over here if I wanted to pick something up like this. But unless there's something, a lot of stuff over here I wanted, I might be better off starting with one of these classes. So it just keeps compiling. That's why usually somebody makes a character, you get up to like level 30, which doesn't take more than maybe a day, and then you realize, oh crap, I know nothing about this game, I have to start over, Let me find a build. Let me find gear, stuff like that. And the gear is pretty deep too. So the gear itself has like, this one has physical damage on it, elemental damage, has 5% critical strike chance, tells you how fast it attacks, and then it has 15% reduced enemy stun threshold. So that means if an enemy stuns you, you're going to get out of it 15% quicker. 61% increased physical damage, 10% strength, adds 1 to 6 lightning damage to each attack, increases your attack speed, and 21% accuracy. So that elemental damage, the lightning damage, the strength, all that stuff gets figured in, and that's the tooltip for my ability. Where when the ability first started, it only had like 1 or 2 things on there. So like if I were to take off all my gear and just showed that ability with nothing else on, you would just see how basic the ability is. Absolutely, man. It's really cool. And so what they're doing right now, they just had this expansion with all these new levels that they added. So it used to be you play through Act 1 through 4, and then you go back to the next difficulty, play Act 1 through 4, and then the third difficulty, Act 1 through 4. And at that time, maps would start dropping, and when you get the map, you go in and you clear the map, and then you hope another map drops, and you just keep rinsing and repeating that until you get more and more gear, kind of just like the old Diablos. So you slowly get stronger and stronger and stronger. But with the new release, here I'll actually show you. Character select. So here's all my characters that I've ever made, and I've deleted a few. But if you were to go to create, you can do the standard league. This is where all your characters end up. And they have a hardcore league and a solo and just a regular league. So if you just do standard, it will be hardcore. If you check off hardcore, it'll be hardcore. And if you do solo self-found, which is what I'm doing on that other character that I was just on, if you do that solo self-found, you can't trade with anybody. All you can do is find your own stuff. But if you ever want to opt out of that, you can. And there's leaderboards for the solo self-found. Yeah, man, it's definitely worth trying. It really is. It'll start out slow and it'll feel really clunky, but the second you start building your character, like once you get to about 20, 30, and then level 40, you start getting attack speed bonuses, so you start attacking quicker, and it just keeps compiling. And it feels real slow at the very, very first few levels, but don't let that bother you. Just keep working with it. So you got Standard League, and then, like I said, and then they have challenge leagues, and then these come out from time to time right here. And when these come out, these are going to last for probably like 2 months, maybe 3 months. And you can do hardcore, which if your character dies here, it goes over here to the normal standard, not hardcore standard. And then you can do the Harbinger normal, which again, if your character stays there until the end of the league. You can do Southbound on either one. And Southbound just makes it a little bit more challenging. Tricks, I'll be playing Albion. I'm just needing a little bit of a break this week with the frustration. I tried to stream on Tuesday, and the servers kept going down. I tried playing today. Servers kept going down. So I'm just going to hopefully keep my fingers crossed. I'm off Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, so I'm going to get some Albion in for sure. But yeah, Juka, definitely worth a try. And then, so say if we did hardcore, Harbinger, and then here's the different classes. So you've got a Templar, and then you got a guy that's a Shadow, a Marauder, a Scion, a Ranger, Duelist, and then a Witch. And they all just, don't think of them as much as classes as just where your starting point is. And so here's my self-found. Now if I want to move my self-found back to the normal league, I can migrate them back. Yeah, it was brutal, man. I definitely was really up for streaming on Tuesday. And then we got through like maybe an hour of it, and then it just all started going to crap. Really wish they'd do those DDoS attacks when I'm not streaming. But Albion will be back. Alright, so where was I? Alright, so go down there. think I'll go. And then also to add more complexity to it, you have flasks, and these flasks down here, they refill while you're fighting. So if you use up all your charges on your flask, you gotta wait till they refill. If you see the green one just filled back up, here, I'll use a bunch of them here. I just used all my speed flask, which is the middle one. But it'll slowly go back up as I kill stuff. And then you can add modifications to the flasks. So like, say my speed flask, when I press it, it not only gives me a speed boost, but it might give me increased armor, or it might give me health regen, or there's just a bunch of different options and a bunch of different mods that can happen. Okay, so I popped this ability, and what it does is it reserves 25% of my mana, so that's what this bar is here. So it took away 25% of my mana to give me an increased fire damage. It says debuff lasts for 4 seconds. Gain 15% of your physical damage as extra fire damage, 2% more burning damage, so it's really good for me.
3 Lunari gone now since
they have a lot of lore in this game, and you just go around and find it.
Who still looks upon Lunaris, who remembers her name.
They are.
Soon
They're yeah. You can run this on a potato.
Will go on.
So the only difference is if your PC's not really up to date, you'll want to go in and tweak the options. And they've got a lot of graphics options. So like water detail you can bring down, frame rate, everything.
And
then
now.
One thing you want to do is
God has forsaken us. Lunaris is my witness.
Stop talking. They've got some really good voice acting in this game, in my opinion. I enjoy it. Okay, there is, what is it, text quality? They just added I don't remember what they called it though. One of these toggles in here. So if you're, it used to be like when you're playing with somebody that does a lot of lightning abilities or has a lot of minions, like you're playing with a summoner that has like 30 or 40 minions following them. The frame rates and rubber banding and stuff was horrible. So they added a slider so that when you're in a group of those kind of people and the shit goes crazy like that, and it would normally affect your computer, it automatically reduces the visuals so that you don't lock up or blue screen or anything like that. So another thing that they do is they do like 1 hour races, 15-minute races, they do 4-hour races, stuff like that, and you earn points over the 3 months or however long they're running the races for, and so you're competing for the best time, not only for overall, but also for the class you pick, and it's just another fun dynamic. If you don't want to get into the game seriously, you just sit there and you perfect a zerging 2-hour build that's going to give you more XP than anybody else, and then when the competition goes live, you just go for it. Alright, man. Yeah, races. So they don't have any right now, although they do have leaderboards for this 3-month one. So they let you know who's got the most XP, who's closing in, stuff like that. And on their site, a lot of times, if the person that's winning that race is streaming, they'll actually broadcast the stream, which is pretty cool. They've just really done a good job with this game. It's like a fanboy's wet dream.
Over here, Exile.
No, I'm just here for the quest. I've already out-leveled the area. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Alright, man, I'll see you when you get back. I think when I zone into this next area, I'm going to go use the restroom. Potty, potty, potty. I'm supposed to be doing anyways. Sacred ground, yeah, that's the look in the hand of a good man. Some dude's hand, I think it might be up here. There we go, that's the entrance.
A house of faith.
I'll be right back.
Form
Oh.
of desecration.
And I'm back. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? To add.
fast.
Ooh, that might be better. So I'm at 84 damage. That's 70, so what am I losing? Oh, the physical damage is going down. It's better. No, not better.
Return fast.
Oh, my darn, it will lost. Crap, flasks. Let's alright, let's go for the sis. Whew. Oh, we'll set them all on fire. Any of this XP. Huh?
I'm gonna cut you up.
That'd be really bad. But
Oh,
I'd have it all on video. It's not cool.
My strawberry shortcake from McDonald's is disappointing.
Well, yeah. That's a surprise. You sending them to bed? What's that? Ah! Ah! Maybe all this is going on my stream.
Welcome to our
You
life.
guys just ruin my streams all the time. Like, seriously.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sad.
Move your computer to the bed.
How is that gonna be any better? Ah! Ah! Oh! That was
Amy,
too
why
sad.
you die?
It's your fault. I blame you. It's always the woman's fault.
You're gonna go cry now.
Okay, so that's new. How?
Isaac.
Oh, baby.
Oh, and stab you?
Stab him. Stab all the children. This is dangerous. Whew. Die. I want you all to die.
Shine boldly, so that all may find you when the night falls.
I think I missed the one that's in Act 1. It's really sad. Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Just stop being like that.
It's Pepe the Frog.
That's fantastic. But I still need to stop it.
Baby, Pepe's a sign of racism.
See?
No.
What?
That's
I'm
what
just
some
saying that.
wackadoodle people were saying.
Want to know who was in Ohio? Kathy. Who's Kathy? I don't know.
Kaylin, tell us who Pepe the Frog is. I want to hear what you know.
He's a meme.
Yeah, but what does he stand for?
He's just a frog.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
Some rights activists were saying he's a sign for racism, when some people were just using him because it was funny.
I'll wake up myself. See?
How'd that go this morning? Did you wake up by yourself?
Yeah, she was up at like when I got out of the 5:45. She already showered.
Holy crap. I didn't think it could happen. So proud of you.
You're excited.
That'll change.
When I came in here, did you say you could run this game on a potato?
Yes. You never heard that saying before?
Yeah. Mr. Longest said we didn't need index cards.
I'm going to kill your teachers.
I will use index cards.
I love index
Plus
cards.
they were 50 cents a pack. I said it right.
Okay.
50 cents.
50 cents. They were only 50 cents, baby. Apparently we're ruining his stream.
This guy is evil.
You empty your lunchbox?
Oh, the superior
Yeah.
I
gear.
am no beast of
Put the
burden.
ice pack in the freezer? No. You should do that too. An ice pack in the morning.
Want to bring all that stuff back? I need to. I need to.
I'm sorry that this is the only way we get to spend time with you. The only way I get to see the front of your face is to watch the stream.
Did I not go to bed early last night with you?
I was asleep.
Didn't have to be. Oh, it's mixing weapons with. That's what.
Level 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, put it away. Throw it in the dishwasher.
What smells bad? Something smells bad. Puncture. think I'll take another trip over there. Might as well. Ain't nothing else going on. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Hello.
Beautiful.
Return.
I don't know if that was worth it for a portal scroll, but it is what it is. So I don't even think those things are worth 7. Crazy. Oh, here we go. Here we go, spiders. Archbishop Joffrey the Abashed. Oh, the smoke mine. Silken vest. That's 70%. Anything else? But here's the hand. Beautiful. Everything I need and more. Best way to teleport back to town. Log out.
You are dream tender.
We're gonna throw this bad boy. Throw this bad boy right there. Look at that. More damage. Sweet.
You help us, and we help you.
Want multiple projectiles. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Make it fast.
Beauty.
Return if
Beauty, eh?
lost.
Alright, so last things first. We need that. This is why you should always get the portal. Now I gotta find it. Hopefully it's in this direction. 50-50 chance it should be on this wall. That would do, donkey. That would do. So I'm already level 21, I think. Yeah, so I really don't need to waste time with these guys. I need to rush the boss. I'm running slow as fuck. Nope, there it is right there. I'll restart in 15 minutes. Really? This game too? $15 minutes, okay, I can deal with that. Let's see if I can get to the top of the temple in 15 minutes. So I gotta hustle. Hustle. I don't have time for your shenanigans. Oh, but it's a yellow mob. I gotta kill yellows. Dead end. Not gonna make it to him in time. I keep hitting dead ends. Unfair. Ah, this too. So unfair. You, my friend, must die as well. Don't think I'm gonna make it. Not with all these distractions. Can't just leave these yellow things sit here. Alright, let's see. Chaos Orb I gotta take. There's got boots I need, 2 stone ring I need. Jagged foil I'll take for now. And then I gotta get out of here. Ah, give me the Chaos Orb! Go, 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 go. If I'm going the wrong way, it's all over. I won't have time to go back the other direction. Must hurry. No! Damn it. That's a dead end too. It's a trap. Come on. Make it. This way. If it's a way that I've already been, but I haven't explored completely, I'm gonna be kind of pissed off. What's up in that top left? Really bad. Oh, that looks promising. It is, it is. Alright. Sweet. Should be able to at least get through the portal. I don't have time for this.
Help me to lead this one
Don't
back
have
to the
time.
light.
Ah. Time to go the wrong ways. There we go. Perfect. Come on, come on. No. No, that is not what I wanted. Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Alright, so I need to find a port. Oh, there it is. Perfect. That's what I needed. Alright, so at least that'll give me that. Maybe I can sprint to the next portal. Ooh, spooky.
Nothing like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
What has happened?
I think
There's
happens.
one bright spot.
It's got dark out.
I dreamed.
Sell item. Building leader, can it? Oh. No sense in using that one. It's not any better than what I'm using. Although it might be better than that axe. Let's see, 192. $193. Alright, I'll take it though. Let's see. Hold on now, because I don't have the gems for it. So I'll just sell shit.
For all of her strange
Good currency right there. Alright, let's see if I can book it and get it up into that temple. don't have time for rares. Oh. I don't have time. Ticket, is that where I want to be? No. It's not where I want to be. I don't have time for any of these shenanigans. That's what I needed. At least need to find a portal. Come on, portal. There we go. Just found the portal. Okay. Don't think I'm gonna be able to get to her and kill her in time though. Minutes. I'll just start killing stuff till the server goes down. Can't find a game that doesn't keep friggin' servers down. 3 minutes. Yeah, Jamie, I'm SSF, solo self-found. Yeah, I would definitely love to get one, but I think I'm going to stick out solo self-found. I'll be back in probably about 10 minutes. Server's going down for 15, so be back at like 9:30 East Coast time at the latest. Alright, actually, I think on that note, I'm going to be logging out. Just because I got a few things I need to take care of. Alright, I'll be back streaming a little bit later. Probably tomorrow on the weekend. Talk to you later.